Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is not investigative in nature, however, I did want to cover 6 recent events involving James Charles, but I also wanted to use this opportunity to share my thoughts on his recent growth as a person, which is something I've wanted to speak on for a while now. Initially, I was going to combine everything into one long video, but I've been sick over the last few days and my voice has been affected, so I'm going to break it into 2 parts with a day or 2 in between to give myself a rest. That being said, I apologize if my voice is more nasally than usual. I'm trying to power through it, so please bear with me. One more thing before we get into the video, there is a surprise giveaway at the end of this video, so stay tuned to find out how to enter. Okay, so I've covered James Charles at length, from his problematic past behavior including his racist comments, to the ring light scandal, to cutting in line at DragCon, to the Africa and Ebola tweet. I've also covered an incident where I believe he was taken advantage of by someone looking to come up off his name, which is something that's become an epidemic at this point. If you're interested in checking out any of my previous videos with respect to James, I'll leave the links to same in the description box below. So as I said earlier, I have 6 separate incidents to discuss with you. 3 in this video and 3 in part 2, and before you come for me saying, oh my god, this is cold, stale ass tea, Sam, listen. Some of the topics may not be fresh, however, I do have another perspective to offer, and I don't believe there's an expiration date on matters in which others can learn and grow from, so we're gonna go through everything in chronological order and lead up to the very latest drama which popped off on Monday night. James was kind enough to provide me with statements for each incident, which I will share with you as we go along, so let's finally get into it. The first story I have for you is another possible N-word slip-up. This time it's in the form of James singing along to lyrics of a song. On March 18th, James was on Instagram Live singing to Rake It Up by Nicki Minaj, where the question was posed, did he say the N-word in keeping with the lyrics of the song, or did he stop himself in time, which then got me questioning whether the same rules still apply with respect to the N-word when it comes to reciting lyrics of a song. Now, initially when I saw the IG footage, I didn't see anything that could have been remotely interpreted as him mouthing or singing the N-word. However, it appears as though there are 2 videos circulating, and in viewing the second video, it's a little more clear as to where the controversy stemmed from. I'm gonna play the video I saw initially. Now, you'll notice that when the N-word comes up in this song, James will hold his finger up to his mouth to silence himself from saying it. However, there is one point where he does not hold his finger up, and this is where he's been accused of mouthing the N-word along with the song, which I'll point out when we get there.
Hold it up, hold it up. Hold it up, hold it up. Hold it up, hold it up.
Brought out the pink Lamborghini just to race with China. Bought the race to China just to race in China. Real bad training bitch, but she mixed with China. Real thick vagina, smuggle bricks for China. I tell all my niggas, cut the check, bust it down, turn your goofy down. Pow, I'm gonna split on your split on it. I'm that bitch, I'ma bust it open. I don't date honey, cookie on tsunami. All my niggas like me once they get that good punani. I think he needs to buy me, I might just let him find me. Never trust a big butt and a smile with the Ronnie. But brat queens like Supreme, ass wet Beniki, ass Indian job. It go from me my dog, this game is free. It go from me my dog, it go from me my dog.
Okay, so I played the clip once at normal speed and twice sped up, and I see nothing. Now, this next clip was taken from a separate video, and I'm not sure if it's just a clearer version of the original, but I can see where there could be grounds for a potential gray area with respect to him mouthing the N-word. Now, whether one should be questioned for repeating lyrics of a song is another story which we'll touch on in a bit, but for now, I simply want to show both versions in case some of you were unclear of where the speculation stemmed from, as I was.
Ass Indian job, it go from 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 ass Indian job, it go from.
So that was the second clip at normal speed twice, zoomed in twice, and slowed down twice. Now, see what I mean between the 2 versions? The first one I literally saw nothing even when slowed down, and in the second version I can at least see where people were coming from. And by the way, I'm not saying that he did in fact say the word, I'm saying that in the second version of the video, I'm able to see where the confusion came from as the movement of his tongue is clearer. And yes, I'm literally sitting here discussing the movement of James's tongue. I mean, As I mentioned earlier, I do have a statement from James regarding this incident, but before we hear what he has to say on the matter, let's go through what transpired on Twitter following his IG Live performance. By the way, all of these tweets have subsequently been deleted. So this person, who we'll call Equalize, tweets out the clip of James cued to the point of his potential use of the word and said, "I don't know if you saw what I saw, but I'm pretty certain I saw what I saw." James quote tweets Equalize tweet and said, "If you watched the live stream, you would see me stop myself before every single N-word. This is the one line in Nicki's verse that I do not know the words to, and therefore I mouth bullshit every single time. You heard absolutely nothing. I'm not playing this fucking game again." Equalized responds and says, "I don't know what you expect. It looks like you said it, and I'm not your fan to be watching your live streams, so..." James quote tweets Equalized tweet and says, "If you're not a fan of mine, then get the fuck off my live stream in the first place instead of scanning through with your little screen recording, trying to catch me mouth a lyric from a rap verse sung by a black woman just to post it on Twitter and try to start a scandal." Equalized responds to James and says, "You're just making yourself look stupid. You mouthed it, stop denying it, and apologize." James then quote tweets Equalized tweet and says, "I didn't mouth it, nor do I ever. Sorry, I'm not apologizing to appease some fake woke kids from Stan Twitter attacking me to get attention." He went on to say, "Don't fucking try me. I've worked so hard to show people my true character, and that tweets from 2012 don't define me, and I'm not letting some attention-seeking girl from Stan Twitter start a racism scandal because she thinks there may be one. Not today, not ever." In closing, he tweeted, "I said what I had to say and I stand behind it. I deleted the tweets not because I was backpedaling, but I'm choosing not to give attention to people that are desperate for it. Happy Sunday." Aura responded to James offering advice saying, "As a queen, I am always very careful choosing what I lip sync to. If the N-word is in the song, I cover my mouth with my hands to make it clear that I am not saying it because it's very important as a white person not to say it. Just saying." James responds to Aura and says, "I agree with you, love. I never do. This is great advice. Thank you." Okay, so let's talk about this. Did he say the N-word or not? I think one thing is clear in this instance, that being that in both versions of the video, you do not physically hear him say the N-word. In fact, you can hear him break in between lyrics and pick up again after that particular word, as seen here.
Nigga, run me my dog. This game is free. Ass in your job. Nigga, run ass in your job. Nigga, run.
Although the second version is cut off, you can briefly hear him begin singing after he takes a pause for the N-word. Did he mouth the word? I don't believe so, but only he knows the answer to that question. However, my question to you guys is this. Even if he did mouth the N-word while following lyrics to a song, is that the same as using it in conversation? Because in my opinion, there's a difference. I'm not saying it's right, I'm saying there's a difference. In this case, James is adamant that he didn't even mouth the word, and I'd be inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt in this instance because in my opinion, he's shown a lot of growth as a person over the last several months. I feel like he's matured and evolved not only as a person but as an influencer and role model to his fans, and I commend him for that. I feel like during his IG Live, he made a point of catching himself the first 2 times by holding his finger up to his mouth, so I think we have to give the guy a break here. Are people going to be extra observant when it comes to his potential use of the word due to his past? Absolutely, and that's just something he's going to have to deal with. But the more he proves to have learned from same, the less focused people will be, and I think he reacted the way he did on Twitter out of frustration. Scandals associated with any form of racism aren't ones that are easily forgotten or forgiven for that matter, so I imagine the frustration he felt when he was faced with the possibility of having to deal with another one, regardless of whether he mouthed the word or not. Here's the statement James gave me in regards to this story. He says, "Didn't say the word, nor do I ever. I covered my mouth every other N-word in the song, but of course they cropped the video. Genuinely did not know the words, in brackets, now of course I do, LOL, so I turned my head but kept moving my mouth. I've learned a lot from my mistakes, and the last thing that I would do would be accidentally say the N-word on live in front of thousands of people. I've had ignorant tweets in the past come off as unintentionally racist, but have never had hatred towards any skin tone, and whether or not people believe that is fine. I believe I've shown my true authentic self in the past several months, and all that matters is that my friends, family, and followers know where my heart lies." So there you have it. I personally think that he should refrain from lip syncing any songs where that word is used simply to avoid situations like these. Now, of course, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know whether you think there's a difference between using the N-word in conversation and repeating it as a lyric to a song, and do you think it's okay for a Caucasian person to say it when following along with the song, or do you think they should have to censor themselves by holding a finger up to their mouth, for example? Let me know below. The second story I have for you comes in the form of another potential copycat claim. However, this case is a little different to what we usually see in that the the accuser has a large following of her own. Typically, I don't cover copycat stories because a lot of the time it's smaller artists looking for a come up off a larger artist's name, or it's just someone looking for attention, so I tend to stay away from those stories. Now, don't get it twisted, I'm not saying that larger artists don't steal or take inspiration from smaller artists, because it definitely happens, but in my experience, 9 times out of 10 the accuser is either ignorant as to how algorithms work or they're looking for a quick come up. However, this case sparked my interest because the accuser already has an Instagram following of 2 million, so let's get into it. On March 19th, which was one day following his IG Live performance, James posted this sunset cut crease look to his Instagram page with no credit given to any source of inspiration for same. Approximately 1 month prior to James's post on February 22nd, Makeup by Alina, who has 2 million Instagram followers, posted a very similar look to her page. Alina took to Instagram stories to call James out for allegedly taking inspiration from her without crediting in a series of posts, beginning with a repost of his photo with the caption that read, followed by, "Love him, just wish he gave me credit." If you guys could comment under his picture to let him know, that would be awesome. Please be respectful, there is no shade or hard feelings here. He truly may not have seen my work, and a sunset look isn't that original on IG, but the look is just too similar to mine. Hope you guys understand. Now yes, the looks are definitely similar, however, as Alina said, this look is very common. So much so that I typed sunset cut crease tutorial into YouTube, and this look from Ana Hernandez popped up from April 2017. To me, this looks very close to James and Alina's looks. Granted, James and Alina's photos are enhanced, but who's to say that Alina didn't take inspo from Ana without crediting? And who's to say James didn't take inspo from Ana rather than Alina without crediting, since she did it before both of them? Then we have this look created by Mmmmitchell, who is another talented artist on Instagram, from February 4th, which as you can see James actually liked, so who's to say that both James and Alina didn't take inspo from him without crediting, since he also did it before them? You know what I mean? This look is nothing new. So a few things here. Do I think that Alina was using this as an opportunity to gain recognition off James's name? Absolutely not. She has 2 million followers and is successful in her own right. I genuinely believe that she felt as though James took inspo from her without crediting. I think her call out was presumptuous, but I don't think there was malicious intent behind it. However, this is the era of social media. It's interesting that the people who have made a career out of social media suddenly don't know how to email or DM one another to sort these issues out privately. I've personally spoken to James on the phone and in DMs, and he's always taken the time to answer my questions, so he's definitely accessible to someone like her. I don't understand why she would send her followers on a crusade to comment on his post to let him know that she did it first, when she could have contacted him herself to sort it out. Now, I did reach out to Alina for comment, however, she did not reply to my request. I know that James initially responded to the situation, but the tweet was deleted before I could get a hold of it. Here's what James told me in regards to this situation. He says, "Didn't steal her look. I've done the same exact look in different colors. It was an unfortunate coincidence that I can see why she thought I may have stolen it, but I didn't steal it, LOL. I've proven time and time again that I always credit proper artists when taking inspiration, such as Rockio, Jodie Holm, just to name a few, and this was not that situation. What was even more annoying was that she posted it on her story saying I stole her look, and then sent her followers to come comment, but then was like, oh, I'm not mad, I love him, it's just unfortunate. And when I reached out to her privately, she never replied. By the way, these statements were taken after I wrote my video, and I didn't even know that he had contacted her privately. Sounds like she may have been a little embarrassed to admit she may have made a mistake, but now that she went and addressed it publicly, she's kind of burned a bridge with a quote-unquote colleague, which you never want to do no matter who you are. One more thing with respect to these stolen inspo claims. Giving credit to someone costs someone like James absolutely nothing. It doesn't affect his channel, his sub count, or his paycheck, so if he was inspired by someone else's artistry, I believe he would credit them. How does it benefit him not giving credit to someone else? If I were him, I'd almost want to find someone to credit so people would get off my back. That being said, I do think it's unrealistic to expect an artist to sift through thousands and thousands of Instagram posts and YouTube videos every time they create a look to see if it's been done before so that they can credit the original artist, which may not even be the original artist. Sure, I believe they should make a reasonable effort to look around, but keep in mind that 2 or more artists can have the same idea. Believe me, I understand the whole crediting thing, but when it comes to artistry, there isn't much that hasn't been done before, so I think people should be a little more forgiving when it comes to these issues. At least try to contact the artist prior to blasting it on social media. I remember when Amanda Ensing took inspo from another artist without crediting, the artist contacted her privately prior prior to taking it to social media, which I think is the proper way to go about these things. Amanda ended up lying about that situation, but the artist did the right thing. Anyway, what I want to know from you guys with respect to this topic is how you think influencers should handle situations like these when they arise. Do you think they should call each other out, or do you think that causes more harm than good? Let me know below. Before we get into the third story, I'm going to insert the surprise giveaway here. I'm giving away 2 of the KKWx Mario eyeshadow palettes. The rules are as follows. Number 1, you must be subscribed to my YouTube channel, and 2, leave a comment on this video including the words KKWx Mario so I know you've entered, and don't forget to leave either your Twitter or Instagram handle in your comments so that I know where to get a hold of you if you win. So good luck you guys, the winners will be chosen on April 9th and the giveaways are open internationally. Moving on to the third story, and that is what the fuck is going on with James and his brother Ian. I'm not quite sure why this is a topic of discussion, but I've received quite a few DMs from people accusing James of exploiting his brother for views and money. Now, I kind of figured there was something in the works after seeing him appearing more frequently on James's Snapchat. If you recall, James indicated that they were working on a project together, and this week he announced that they would be hosting the James and Ian show every Sunday on James's channel. In addition to the debut episode of the James and Ian show, in the past week Ian has appeared in 3 other videos which had people wondering what was up with the sudden Ian overload on sister James's channel. My personal opinion is that James is trying to help his brother build a presence on social media by taking him under his wing. James has achieved so much success through social media, so it's perfectly logical that he would want to help his brother become successful in social media if that's something his brother wanted to dabble in. Do I think James is exploiting his brother? Absolutely not. I think that if Ian truly wasn't interested, he wouldn't do it, and I don't think that James would or could make him. Why wouldn't Ian be interested in becoming a social media influencer, especially after witnessing his brother's success firsthand? Some people see what James is doing as a form of nepotism, but who wouldn't help family if they had the resources available to do so? I don't see anything wrong with James helping his brother. At the end of the day, James can bring in the views and the subs and exposure for his brother, but ultimately, it's up to Ian to make them stay, so we'll have to see how this plays out. James provided me with the following statement in regards to his brother's appearance on his channel. He says, "I'm not exploiting my little brother in any way, shape, or form. We didn't have the best childhood together, and although he acts like he hates doing the videos on camera, he actually does enjoy them. He sees how hard I work and that it pays off, and he wants to follow in my footsteps for a little bit and see where it takes him. It's also been a great opportunity for us to hang out and get closer, and majority of my followers are absolutely loving the content. I paid him for the life swap video because it was sponsored, and I said that in the video as well, and he'll be paid for episodes of the James and Ian show, but still would do it for free because we're family." And there you have it, you guys. Once again, I know some of these topics are a few weeks old, but bear in mind that this was originally supposed to be part of a larger video which has been broken up due to me being sick. I have a lot more to come in part 2, but I hope that I offered a different perspective on things. At least you were able to hear what James had to say on each issue. With that being said, I'm fading fast over here. I hope to get part 2 up in the next few days. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at HereForTheT2, and I'll talk to you guys again soon in my next video. Bye!